It's often said in life that, we say about God in particular, God works in mysterious ways. And it's been interesting, my life journey, because all along for me, Natalie, the Good Shepherd Natalie, I always felt like, well, no, it's not. God doesn't work in mysterious ways. And yet, well, here I am now in my 50s and understanding further why God was never mysterious to me is because I was born very close to God. Today, this morning, as I went to leave the farm to get gas, I saw a dead baby deer on our property on the highway. And I had a need to, here it is, I buried it up here. I'm going to explain what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, Lord. But I do. I had a need to get out and bless this dead deer. And I did. And then I came into the farm and I kept thinking and I was like, my youngest daughter is into vulture culture. She does a lot of oddity work. And she's always told me, if you find any, dead, wildlife on the farm, make sure, you kind of bury it in a shallow grave for me, and I can at some point come and gather the bones. So I went back on the golf cart with a tarp, and I picked up this dead baby deer, and it was so heavy. I couldn't believe it. I've heard of dead weight before, and I've held dead people. So I know dead weight, it really is it is a real weight. That is like, whoa, very surprising. Very small deer. It was very heavy. And it was heavier the second time around because I tried to pick it up the first time. And just like 10 minutes later, whoa. So this deer definitely had not been dead that long when I found it. So I shared with my daughter that, I have this baby dead deer, and I put it in a tarp and kind of put it between the trees back here. And so she texted me back and she says, no, you don't need a tarp. What you need is a Tupperware bin. Take the tarp away, get a Tupperware bin. And she said, get a lot of heavy rocks. And I said, heavy rocks? I have a lot of those. I have a lot of those for my own cemetery here. That's what I use is heavy rocks, so the wildlife doesn't come and dig up the bodies of my chickens and whatever else that I bury here in the cemetery. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. When I was talking earlier about sharing the video when I was, gathering the dead deer, it is true. It is true. Heaven has purpose for all life. I mean, for trees, for bugs, for you, for me, for everything. There is purpose. And heaven also loves utilizing all of life to share life in full circle ways. It's just, we're not aware as humans. And yet then you have somebody like me, the Good Shepherd, and I'm beyond aware. And this is part of my role as the Good Shepherd, also a messenger in life, is to share the ways that heaven works. So they don't have to be so mysterious to everyone else. What happened this morning is finding that deer. I've been looking for a connection with my youngest daughter. We've gone through the ringer here, our family, over the past 4 years with the death of my father-in-law, and my daughters suddenly moved out. I'd been raising them the first 20 some years of their lives, and then unbeknownst to me, they moved out on their own. And then we sold our home, and then we found a rent-a-farm, and then my husband quit his job, and then we moved in here. We moved back to my husband's childhood home. It's been a long journey over 4 years. So many things have happened during this 4 years. And ultimately, I've always been aware that no, it's not all about me. It's not the hardest on me. I've been aware that it's been hard on all of us in our own unique ways. So I've been most definitely disconnected from both of my daughters during this time. And after I gathered the deer and brought it up here and texted my daughter, and she actually responded, at that point I smiled and thanked heaven, because this is, part of, it was my purpose to utilize a body to, you know, repurpose a body. And it was heaven's purpose for me to do that, in order for me to have a need, a reason to connect with my daughter in ways that were definitely, you know, capturing of her attentions. And she's excited about such vulture culture being in the oddities, you know, way of life. I know that my daughter has been struggling, and apparently she shared with me that she stopped, you know, doing all of her oddity work because it was simply too much. And so, you know, again, when I say it's never just about me, it really isn't. And it is beautiful for me right now to just take a seat. I think I'm probably getting bit by ants. I have to get up. I can't believe this. Why do I just even do these things? I believe heaven wants my daughter to feel more joy in her life. And I believe something as simple as this is something that can capture someone like my daughter's soul at this time, to refuel. Like a rocket needs fuel to go to outer space, and a car needs fuel to travel the roads and interstates, you know, the highways and life for us. Well, our souls also need fuel. And that fuel does come from life itself, comes from people, comes from everything in life, animals, nature, to other people. And so this is my story of sharing. So I'm gonna go ahead and find my big Jesus rocks and take my daughter's advice and lay the Tupperware bin over this dead baby deer with the heavy rocks on top so nothing will want to get into it. And onward, upward, Good Shepherd, I shall go back to my flock.